it seems like a parent is being charged after their child committed a crime. So we talked about this before. We talked about this concept before. If your child is keep committing crimes and you can't control them, the people are planning to charge you now. Now, do you think that's right? I mean, you got to do something. You have to do something. People need to be able to control their kids. People should control their kids. But all that starts from, you have to do that from a young age. You can't let them have free reign or just grow up however they want to grow up outside, hanging out in the streets, and then you try to get a control of them when they get older and they start doing these crazy things. No, you have to distill discipline in them from an early age. You have to distill discipline in them from an early age. That's the only way you can possibly stop them from doing something crazy. Let's get over into this video and see what this is all about.
A string of car break-ins over the weekend has now led to charges against 3 suspects and several of their parents. Police in Gloucester City arrested a 16, 17, and 19-year-old over their alleged involvement in a series of burglaries early Sunday morning. But when police charged the teens, prosecutors opted to also hold their parents to account, accusing them of failing to supervise their children. New Jersey correspondent Trish Hartman has the details tonight.
3 arrests were made after the alleged thefts from vehicles, but the parents of the juvenile suspects were also charged. Police say it's an effort they've been using for quite some time to cut down on juvenile crime. It was early Sunday morning, around 1:30. Surveillance video shows 3 people walking near vehicles in the Highland Park section of Gloucester City. Police say it was these 3 who were arrested a short time later for breaking into cars and stealing things. You can see one trying to access cars in a driveway across the street, running from the house when a light goes on. Denise Glassman says her son-in-law's car was hit, left unlocked on Saturday evening.
That's when he called the police and found out that they had got his car along with all the other cars on the street.
She says credit cards were stolen out of it, and his bike was also stolen out of the driveway.
His kids were upset. My grandchildren are very scared now that there's going to be somebody coming to take their things.
Police say several vehicles were burglarized over the weekend. 3 suspects were taken into custody. 2 juveniles from Camden, 16 and 17 years old, and 19-year-old Wesley Hunter from Cherry Hill. Hunter had outstanding warrants and was turned over to Camden County Police. The juveniles were released to their parents, who were also charged with failure to supervise their child.
If somebody came to my house and said my kids did something wrong, I would take responsibility. Absolutely.
Yeah, see,
these parents need to
right.
take responsibility.
The police chief says the charge typically involves an appearance in municipal court and likely a fine. Folks in the neighborhood say they're relieved to hear about the arrest, but are still taking precautions.
So between the dogs and the Ring camera, we just watch out for each other, you know. It's a small little neighborhood that we live in, and that's what we do.
100% correct. I mean, come on now. If you got to take steps to protect your stuff. You have to. And I'm happy that they're charging the parents.
They're asking people to be vigilant. They're also asking people to check their vehicles for signs of burglary. Detectives have some recovered stolen items that they would like to get back to their rightful owners. Reporting in Gloucester City, New Jersey, Trish Hartman, Channel 6, Action News.
Absolutely wild. They said it was a 16, 17, and a 19-year-old all out there going crazy. Checking cars, seeing what they could find, walking the street late at night. Now, maybe they was told their parents was that they were sleeping over at a friend's house. And that could have been a possibility. But it's a tragic situation. It's a tragic situation. And about the parents being charged, it's understandable. If your kid keeps committing crimes, you need to be charged. You raised them. That is my understanding. That is what I like to live by, is that the parents need to keep control of their children. Especially the 16 and 17-year-old. They're still underage. They're not even 18 years old. A 19-year-old, hey, let him. Hey, he did the crime. He did the crime, do the time. I don't think you could, but he was probably doing stuff when he was younger too. He's probably doing stuff when he was their age. And it just carried on. Now tell me your thoughts, y'all. Do you think that parents should be charged for when their kids keep committing crime? What should the charge be? They're saying that it's going to be like a misdemeanor with a fine. Absolutely crazy. Maybe this will call parents to be more active in their children's life, because what they do affects them. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. But we've seen this several places. We've seen teens going, juvenile crime is getting out of control. Kids are getting younger and younger, committing heinous crimes. We just a few months ago, probably what's it, a month ago? Probably a month to a few months ago, we talked about a 12-year-old who just got sentenced to 40 years. 40 years for a triple murder. He was one of three who got sentenced to a triple murder. The other two were older. They got life. I believe it was life. Go back and watch that video. But 12 and getting sentenced to 40 years. They're getting younger and younger every single day. The parents, they have to do something. You have to do something to stop juvenile crime. Now, I've said this before, dude. Is it all the parents' fault, though? Is it all the parents, or is it the environment that they are growing up in? Now, at the end of the day, you have to put a roof over your kid's head. You might not can afford to live in a neighborhood outside of these crime-ridden neighborhoods, which is understandable. But you can't let the block raise your kids. You can't let the block raise your kids. You can't let them be influenced by these kids. It's hard. I understand it's hard. But you have to distill in them morals and to be able to guide their way and not hang out with certain people. Understand that these people are not good for them to be in their lives. It's hard to talk to kids like that some days, but you got to do something, because the only thing that comes from a life of crime, of them hanging on the block being thugs, is either they're dead or they're in jail. I knew that from a young age. That I did not want any of those options. I knew from a young age that I wanted to go to school. I knew from a young age that what I wanted to be when I grow up, and I stuck to it. I wasn't on the block hanging out with these kids. No. You hear about it when you go to school the next day. What happened on the block? You hear somebody got jumped? Nah, I wasn't there. I was in the house, watching my TV, eating a good dinner. But some people don't have those type of parental figures in their life. And that is the real problem. Parents aren't in their kids' lives grooming them to be successful in life when they grow up. Or some parents were a part of that life too. We got to be honest. Some parents were a part of that life too, but they are just in that thug life, in the gang banging, on the block all day. So they pass that down to their children. And it's sad. It's very sad. Let me know your thoughts, y'all. Let me know your thoughts on this whole situation. It's a crazy world we live in, y'all. It's a crazy world we live in, but please raise your kids correctly. Be a part of your kids' life, but distill values in them that can last their lifetime. We got to do something. Absolutely crazy, y'all. All right, everybody. Remember, this is AC Reviews the Word. Remember to like and subscribe.